Hello everybody, Ranger John here at Huntsville State Park. You know, I enjoy hiking, biking, camping out here at the park, but after a day of just rigorous recreational activities, I look forward to the moments where I can put my hammock up between the trees and relax by the lake. But any activity out at the state parks, even relaxing, there are guidelines, rules, and safety things to think about. And so I'm going to help you today plan and prepare ahead for a relaxing afternoon out here in the park and share with you some of the guidelines state parks have with hammocking. First off, let's start with the rules of hammock use in Texas parks. Now, they're designed for safety, but also for protecting our natural resources, which is our trees. So the first rule is not to use any type of permanent anchor onto the tree. So no nails, screws, or eye bolts, or anything drilled or hammered into our trees so we protect them. You got to think that the outside, the bark here, is much like the skin on our bodies. It's there to protect the tree. So we want to make sure to protect it as well. The other one is making sure it's 8 inches in diameter, strong enough to support the weight. Put it on too small of a tree, it's liable to bend or break when you set your hammock up in it. So the next couple rules also have to deal with how you anchor your hammock to the tree. Now, a lot of stores out there will sell pre-made webbing designed for hammocks. It's nice and convenient. Of course, some people like to make their own as well. Now, some of those pre-made ones come in 3/4 of an inch to an inch wide webbing. TPWD wants you to use at least 2 inches. That's designed so instead of keeping the weight in one thin line around the tree and the bark, which could damage it, it's spreading that weight around so we take care of the trees. Now, because a lot of this is only in 1 inch, I will wrap it around twice to kind of spread that around. Texas parks also suggest using padding. Now, they sell some professional stuff out there, or really just if you can find some padding that you can wrap around the tree underneath your straps to protect it there. I've also had a scout show me that just getting some twigs off the ground and setting them underneath here can help spread the weight on the tree so we're not damaging it. So another rule about the anchoring is Texas parks wants no more than 2 hammock straps per tree. So some people have seen those cool stacks of hammocks. Well, for protection of the tree and for safety standards, we don't want that to happen. So it's great to have on this tree 1 hammock go in this direction. We can put another strap on here for a hammock go in that direction, but really we don't want to do more than 2 hammock straps per tree. So when using a hammock, you also want to remember leave no trace principle number 2, and that is to stay on durable surface. Now, that doesn't just apply to hiking, but to camping and relaxing in the woods as well. So when you set up your hammock, you don't want to set it up in an area that's going to require you to cut or prune any of the bushes or trees around you or any limbs. So you want to find an established area that's clear and you can set up your hammock and not damage any of the natural wildlife. And if you're going to find yourself camping overnight in your hammock, you want to make sure that you keep your hammock inside your established campground and not wandering into other people's or outside the camping area. So one of the final rules about hammock camping in state parks is don't hang your hammock on any park structure, whether it's a shelter, pavilion, cabin, or even the lamppost. Here in the piney woods, there are thousands of perfectly good trees that you can hang a hammock on. This is designed for lights or even to hang your trash up so the critters on the ground don't get to it. These weren't anchored in to support weight. So for your safety, please do not hang a hammock on any park structure. And if you have any questions about the rules or the safety, reach out to the park ahead of time that you plan on visiting and ask them if you can hammock in their state park. Some other safety tips you might want to consider is not only checking on the size of your tree, but making sure to check the life of the tree. You want to take a look up, see if you have any green on there, and make sure it's still alive, because if you hook up to a dead tree and it falls, well, you can see a picture here of what a fallen tree can do to a stone bench. It's not pretty. Now, not only check the tree, but you want to look above you as well. Look for any dead branches that are up there. If you have any wind that might fall down on you, that we like to call those widow makers for, obvious reasons there. So, another safety thing to look at, whenever you get your gear out, you want to inspect it. Look for any cuts, any frays. When you put your gear away, you want to store it dry. So if it's been a wet weekend, I like to hang my gear up when I get home so it can dry out. If I inspect for any cuts or frays, make sure it's not dangerous. A couple other safety things to think about is don't ever hang them up too high, because then it's going to be more difficult to get into and a higher risk of falling out of. You want to try and put some weight into it. Make sure it's going to hold and it's not going to move at all before you put your entire body weight into it. You only want to have one hammock. You don't want to stack them up because that's a greater risk of falling to people above you. Now, they're great to get a gentle swing into, but you don't want to swing too aggressively. And if there's going to be children around them, parents, make sure you supervise them as well so that they stay safe. Now, when it comes to your gear selection, there are a lot of choices out there. First off, though, your two main pieces are going to be your anchor system, whether it's rope or webbing, something that's going to protect the trees. Then you want to go with your hammock. Now, I saw one website that listed 21 different types of hammocks out there, so you have many options. Now, a camping or backpacking one like this, I find to be really nice. They pack small, lightweight. They're a great way to put up and enjoy an afternoon on the lake. Now, as far as sleeping goes, they have that kind of banana shape to them, and as a side sleeper, I find it a little tough. Now, I have a hammock that has spreader bars on the end, which kind of make it a little wider, a little flatter. I can sleep on my side in the hammock and be comfortable. Now, if you're looking to camp in one, there are other accessories you can get as well. If you want to keep those mosquitoes off you, a lot of these companies will sell bug nets that can go around the hammock, whether they string up or they just circle around. They also sell, if you want to get the shade off you or you're looking at a chance of rain, you can buy rain flies. They'll tie it between the trees and then stake out of the corners to give you a little shelter as well. And of course, you can buy, the manufacturers will make them, or just stringing up a rope, tarp, and staking the corners out will work for you as well. Now, my favorite time to go hammock camping is during the warmer months, because then when it's hot out, I'll have a breeze coming underneath me, over me, and keeping me cool in there. But if you camp during the winter months, you want some layer of protection between you and the bottom of the hammock. You could go with a sleeping pad on the inside, or some of these companies make quilts that go on the outside of the hammock. They'll give you a layer of warmth and protect you from the wind. You can also think of some fun additional things to add, whether it's flags through there. I've run a little string of LED lights above my hammock to give it a little twinkle glow at night before I go to sleep. So you can get some speakers to hang from it. They'll sell a gear loft that you can put underneath. That way you can put your boots underneath your hammock, but keep them off the ground as well. So there are many different accessories out there you can find to make your hammock experience even that much more enjoyable. So I hope you all learned something today and realize that the rules are there to protect our natural resources here at the park for you and for future generations as well. We're also concerned about your safety and make sure that you have a fun and pleasurable time out here at the park. In the piney woods, there are lots of trees out here to set up your hammock to relax and enjoy. So I hope you get the opportunity to come out here at Huntsville State Park to do that. So y'all take care. We'll see you out here soon. And remember, life is better outside.